National Assembly representatives, government partners, leaders of Viet Nam Federation on Disability, leaders of organizations of and for persons with disabilities, researchers, and media. Good morning, Xin Chào. On behalf of the United Nations Development Program, and as the agency coordinating the United Nations Partnership on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Multi-Partner Trust Fund joint program in Vietnam, I would like to warmly welcome you all to this consultation workshop. Today, we will be discussing strengthening the alignment of Vietnam's legal framework for persons with disabilities with the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. This is the first in a series of consultations on strategic issues that UNDP, UNICEF, and UNFPA will jointly conduct to collect your valuable inputs. Your contributions will feed into our situation analysis report and help us develop a fully fledged proposal to be submitted to the UNPRPD at global level. At the outset, I would like to acknowledge and commend your great efforts and dedication to our joint program, as well as to our partnership to promote and protect the rights of persons with disabilities. We thank you for making time to join us in the midst of the unpredictable and evolving COVID-19 situation. Although we cannot hold discussions in person as we had wished, I am delighted to see the representation of diverse stakeholders, regions, ages, and types of disabilities in this virtual workshop, which promises multifaceted and fruitful discussions that will contribute to our project development. In this unprecedented context, the work of the UNPRPD has become perhaps more important than ever, as the pandemic has exacerbated the existing vulnerabilities of persons with disabilities, which needs to be addressed by systemic and cross-cutting approaches provided in the UNPRPD. The UNPRPD is a unique global program that brings together UN entities, governments, organizations of persons with disabilities, and broader social organizations to advance the implementation of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, or CRPD, and Disability Inclusive Sustainable Development Goals at the country level and around the world. Globally, the UNPRPD is administered by the UNDP Multi-Partner Trust Fund Office and the UNPRPD Technical Secretariat, which is hosted by UNDP. And here in Vietnam, UNDP is also coordinating joint activities of all three participating agencies. This includes UNFPA, UNICEF, and UNDP, providing technical and operational support for the inception phase of the UNPRPD. As you may know, the UN in Vietnam was honored to be one of 26 countries selected out of over 111 applications to proceed to the inception phase of the UNPRPD. UNDP is very proud to lead the coordination of this meaningful and transformative project, which will be instrumental for advancing disability inclusion across all aspects of our programming and operations. UNDP has been recognized as a strong advocate for evidence-based legal reforms to ensure non-discrimination against persons with disabilities and their meaningful participation in the decision-making processes. In particular, in our partnership with the government and Organization of Persons with Disabilities, UNDP Vietnam has jointly published some knowledge products on ending stigma against persons with disabilities and on ending discrimination in the workplace, has supported the development of a new law on legal aid in 2018, and is supporting the ongoing process of revising the law on persons with disabilities and acceding to the Marrakesh Treaty. Our work is reinforced by the complementary efforts of our partners UNFPA and UNICEF. UNDP's commitment at the national level is also in line with our global objectives. UNDP has worked in more than 90 countries on disability inclusion since 2008, and has been proud to play a pivotal role in the development of the UN Disability Inclusion Strategy, together with the International Labour Organization and in close collaboration with the UN Human Rights Office. Notably, the new UNDP marker on leaving no one behind in data analysis of our portfolio includes a category on persons with disabilities, and this will help further progress in mainstreaming disability inclusion throughout the organization. In our workshop today on strengthening Vietnam's legal framework for persons with disabilities, I would like to highlight 3 key messages for our discussion and future programming on legal reforms. First, wearing the CRPD lens, a disability should be defined as the combination of individual impairments and social barriers. Without considering social barriers, regulations may be inclined to only foster individual endeavors and functional rehabilitation, which is unworkable and may facilitate the exclusion of persons with disability from social life. When shifting our focus to removing attitudinal and environmental barriers, legislation will create an accessible and enabling environment for persons with disability to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals of the 2030 Agenda. Secondly, to reinforce the implementation of laws, all duty bearers' obligations and accountabilities must be clearly defined. As such, all forms of direct and indirect discrimination, including refusing reasonable accommodation, are identified and addressed by appropriate preventive and sanction measures. These recommendations can be embodied by an effective monitoring mechanism in which persons with disabilities play a key role. Thirdly, our legal framework for persons with disabilities should pay special attention to disability inclusive response and recovery measures in climate change, disaster, and disease outbreak circumstances, especially for the most marginalized groups. The COVID-19 pandemic has provided us with valuable lessons learned on anticipatory governance and the need for a sustainable social protection system to ensure a buffer for the most vulnerable and critical situations. These require, firstly, a transparent and consistent disability determination method to identify all eligible beneficiaries of social protection schemes. Secondly, inclusive policies, accessible services, and facilities that foster persons with disabilities' independence and dignity, especially in emergencies. And thirdly, highly adaptability of social policies, even in the worst case scenarios. Last but not least, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to all of you for your active participation and contributions to the substance of this workshop, as well as UNDP and the UN in Vietnam's mission of improving disability inclusion. I also highly appreciate our colleagues from UNICEF and UNFPA, our partners, DP Hanoi, for your strong dedication and collaboration with UNDP in this inception phase of UNPRPD. I wish you a productive discussion and successful event. Thank you. Sim Kam Eun.